What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fight Court with myself, Ryan the Mighty Quinn, King Mo Lawal, and a special guest coming off a big knockout victory from Friday night at BKFC. TMurph, Tony Murphy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you fellas, both of y'all. So real quick to give everyone a rundown, this is Coach Quinn. Y'all know that. He was my coach when I got to ATT, and I was coming out of a long amateur career and got me polished to come into the pros. That's invite only. So, I take a lot of pride in that, and I appreciate that. And then King Mo was transitioning. I think you still had a bout or two, but you were transitioning and really just coaching and helping everybody. And we got pretty tight, too, even though I'm faster than you. You know that.
So, real quick, before we get into everything, that shirt there reminded me, in what non-corrupt universe does a 3-loss Alabama team make it into the college playoff over a top 10 Notre Dame team?
The only thing I can say is obviously we know a lot of publicity goes into it. I think Notre Dame did get let's be honest. Excuse me language. I don't know if we're using them
No,
words.
we're cool with that. Yeah, we allowed that. Don't worry about that.
Fucked on that, and that's the honest truth. I said that when it happened. But I still think Bama gets in. And if anything, what was that small school? James Madison,
and there was another one that were they weren't even in the top 20, but because they won an outside conference.
Y'all are in 100%. But I think Bama still deserved to be in. But I understand people that got upset because Bama does have a way of getting always in because of what Saban did. And I think we bring a lot of ratings. So a little favor, but anyone's lying to you if they say that we're not going to make a good game out of anybody. You know what I mean? The fact we lost to Florida State still blows my mind.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that happened. That carried their whole season.
The conference matters too.
Huh?
Yeah.
The conference.
Yeah.
Well, I think beating Georgia is really what got us in. Now, obviously, if we lose again, we're out. So we held on. And beating Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma's beat us in the season, but we got them in the first round.
Yep.
But I think that win against Georgia and then not losing, I think that really is what pushed us to get in. I do believe Notre Dame should have got in. I don't know how the hell you didn't. But I still feel like Bama should have got in. Of course, I'm biased, but yeah.
So their two losses obviously were Miami and Texas A&M early in the season, and those two teams, once you have that, and then part of it is because Miami lost 2 games, and now Miami and Notre Dame are 8-2, and then head to head, you got to go with the head to head. So but on the opposite part, like you said, James Madison and that other school, I forgot who the other school was that got in.
I think it was Miami, and Miami actually ended up shocking Ohio State. But I mean, on paper though, Notre Dame still had a better year than I feel like.
So this is going to drive people crazy next year, as you know. Notre Dame has a new clause where if they finish the season in the top 10, that they're automatically in the playoff. So we'll deal with that problem when we get to it.
I know that coach was very ballsy for not even wanting to participate in the bowl game.
I think that was their athletic director that made that call. I think that was him. Yeah, I think that was him that made that call.
That took a lot of balls. I mean, a lot of people they put a lot of dark on that. Like they took away the light from Notre Dame. Was like, oh man, they're ashamed to be a Notre Dame fan. But in a way, it was a ballsy move to make a statement. Like, look, bro, you're gonna screw us, and we're not gonna play in a game that we don't need.
Yep. Yeah. So Tony, all right. So as you said, we all go back, and I remember the first time, I was like, you're really fucking tough, and I remember the first time I recognized that. Not even trained with the amateurs. Mo, I forget his name. I think it was Rodrigo, that Thai boxer that Cattell brought, the bald dude.
Rodrigo.
Crazy striking. I remember Tony, you're sparring with him. Bro, he's connecting a lot. And you're just block it with your head and slip it and shaking it off. It's like, boo, 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 catching it. Just
my way was just basically take it and see if they'll break. You know what I mean? Fuck it. I knew I was going to get hit, so I just got to show them. Because I'll never forget when it was you or somebody tried to say, we're going to pull Tony Murphy up, because, I was doing what I was doing to the amateurs. I was a little bit older, a little bigger. So, that had a lot to play in it. Don't get me wrong. You had amateurs on that squad too. Fernando, all them cats were good. But I remember when y'all were getting ready to pull me up because it's invite only, and Dean Thomas was just being real. I don't think he was trying to be disrespectful, but he said, you need to make sure he came to me and he said, there's a lot of killers here. You need to make sure it's what you want to do if you want to come to pro practice. And that set the tone right there. Like, dude, come on, man. I'm not the most technical guy. I'm a killer too. You know what I mean? But Dean's the man. Me and Dean, I mean, Dean's cool people. It's just I remember him saying that to me, and it set the tone for me. And of course, you know, King Mo always telling me I'm slow and shit. But I know that means that you love me. I know that's what that means.
Yeah, you're pretty slow then, man. No. So what do you call it? So all right, we talked about football. You started with football. Let's talk about you a little bit. Let's talk about you. Let's get everyone to get to know you. So what happened with football and how'd you get into combat sports after that?
So I was born Largo Medical, so you know, St. Petersburg bound. Went to Pinellas Park High School, graduated. I mean, that's just what we did growing up. We got inspired a lot. We would go home MySpace days and we would watch fucking 305 fights. Kimbo, I know you were close with Kimbo. Jorge Masvidal, which meant the world to me when I got to spar with him because I was Kobe's partner during that beef. So it was like, damn, here's a guy that, you know, I look up to, Kobe, because he was where he was. Regardless of his angle, I didn't agree with that. He still was, you know, he was an interim champ. So I was like, you know, what a star. And then you got Jorge Masvidal. Here's a guy that's also a star that I really got my street fighting from. We would go home and watch Jorge and Kimbo and all that. Where I'm going with this is that was a big thing here in St. Pete and Tampa. The movie Never Back Down comes out, which they filmed here in Tampa. And fucking, you know, next thing you know, we're organizing fights after school. I wrestled, played football my whole life. You know, I made first team all county in both. I was going to go to college. I don't know. I was a ball player, but I'm just being honest. I probably wouldn't have got the NFL. I'm not doubting myself. I'm just being honest. But I mean, I was a ball player. I mean, I'd go find that ball and lay a hat on somebody, or I'd tote it up the middle and drag 5 people with me. And I had a college offer. The plan was to go junior college because my grades were iffy. I graduated with like a 2.7, you know. So, and, you know, these big schools, I had Notre Dame write me, Florida State. Now, would I have started? Probably not. But I did have these letters. This is no bullshit. Iowa Hawkeyes being the biggest. They were the most interested in me. But I didn't have the grades. So the plan was to go sign with College of the Redwoods. I was in the paper, junior college in California, and I was on my way, and I ended up going to jail, just being a knucklehead. But, you know, I actually manned up because it was my idea what happened. All charges were dropped, and I turned myself in and ratted on myself. That's a true story. And ruined my scholarship and everything. But I felt I had to do that because what had happened, other people were about to get it on them. I ended up winning the case. It wasn't anything petty or nothing. It's a long, deep story with my personal family. But that's done and over with. I was 18. Never, you know, I was never locked up again. Of course, probably could have been, but I never got caught doing anything. So, you know, football's gone. You used to be the man in high school, right? And now all of a sudden, you know, you left home at 15. So I was working at Circle K, bro. And not that I'm not grateful to have a job, but it was like, man, it's humiliating. I'm watching these dudes come in, high rollers I used to run with, and I'm making them a fucking thirst buster. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm not saying I'm not grateful for a job, but it's fucking Circle K. I know I'm destined to do something better. So Ryan Reber, Royal Ryan Reber, he's one of the faces in BKFC, coming off that co-main event win the same night I just won. We knew each other growing up. He brings me into SPMF. I meet Shane Dunn, and the journey just took off, man. I mean, next thing you know, I'm on my way to Vegas. At that time, I was with Cheyenne Blismus, who made a great career for herself. And we go to Vegas, and from Vegas, Randy Couture's gym, me and her separated, and I came to y'all. And, I mean, that was a blessing. I got to do things, Coach Quinn, that regardless if I ever became great, and I know I didn't. I mean, I'm a hell of an athlete, and I'm always going to give my all, and I'm a dog. I'm not a pushover. But I'm not a superstar fighter, and I'm finally okay with that. I have a great career in construction now, and I love my job. I really do. I mean, of course, you always want more, but I love what I do, and I'm good at it. But if I can keep fighting and milk every bit of the situation that I got going for myself, I went to the tryouts, by the way, after leaving American Top Team, coming home, and I earned my position, go 2-0, and then I sat for 3 years. It was just a lot of back and forth, fights falling out and such. And anyway, if I can just milk everything I can financially out of this and see how high I can go and maybe get that ending I'm looking for, then this is a hell of a book to write. And if I don't get to, so be it. It's been a hell of a journey, and I got to do shit I never would have got to do ever. Experiences, living in Vegas, coming down there, training with you guys, you two Bellator fucking vets. You know, I don't think people understand. Put some respect on both of y'all's name. You know what I mean? Both of you guys have competed at the highest level. I've always been the guy that's just knocking on the door, but to be fair, I also did a lot of stupid shit in Vegas and when I was living down there, going out and partying and stuff. I'm just being honest. I did. You know what I mean? I'm a hard worker, but I wasn't doing right. This time, I'm not saying I'm going to be the next fucking face of BKFC. I just know that my head's on right because I don't have any kids or nothing like that. Want them one day, but don't have any, other people who have to worry about their career and worry about a family. Much respect to that, because that's got to be hard, because it's hard enough dealing with just worrying about me. But my head's on right. I go to work, I go to training, or I'm at the Planet Fitness lifting weights. That's really my life now. So I hope I summed that up.
Man, no. Well, I think that you found your niche right here, but I'm going to give this over to Mo. Mo, you talk about the BKFC stuff because you're the expert here.
So first of all, who do you have your eyes set on to fight? Like, who's the person?
There in my eye, because the other one's out of commission. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm being dead ass honest, King Mo. You know me. Like I say again, I got to know y'all. I got pretty tight with y'all. I'll fight anyone, and if there's an issue and we need to make some drama, I think everyone knows I'm down for that too. But right now, I just want to keep having an opportunity to develop a record and a name. You know what I mean? Sitting for 3 years, it opened my eyes up, because I'm going to be real with y'all. I didn't think I'd ever fight again. And I just kept knocking and kept pushing, and we got this deal. And now I feel like I made a little noise. The kid I fought, young man, I'm not dogging him. He's a tough motherfucker, but it's not like, he was some superstar either. And again, neither am I. But he did fill in on 3 weeks' notice after the original opponent pulled. And this cat was like, I'm just undefeated amateur superstar and blah, blah, blah. But 3 weeks out, you pull out. You're just like everybody else that wants to be fucking Instagram fighter. You know what I mean? At least we're willing to go gamble. So much respect to this kid, Skyler, for stepping in. And I don't want to sound like I just beat a Goliath, but do remember this. And me and him are cool now, so I'm not talking shit, because he cornered me in my pro debut. But David Mundell is one of the faces of BKFC. This is a guy that ended up having a better career than me, and he's a better fighter than me. You know what I mean? But we've sparred multiple times. He's always gave me tips and told me where my strengths are. I have a win over this guy. He did beat me the second time. He finished me the second time, but I beat this man. And this was years ago, but still, you got to hang your hat on something. Here's a guy who's number 2 pound for pound, and he's one of the faces. I do have a win over him, and I stepped in the ring with him twice, when some guys won't even fucking get in the ring with him once. So if that answers your question, I don't really have my eye on anybody. I just want the opportunity I feel I deserve. That's it. And for now, you start getting them wins and a little higher level, then we'll start playing with, like, okay, I can do this. I want this guy. I want that guy. But right now, I just let management and the promotion kind of set my sights for me. Because, again, I've been sitting for years, bro.
Y'all in the same weight class right now?
75. He's the champ. It would be interesting. And, again, we're cool. Business is business. It's not like we're going to hate each other. And I'm not saying I'm gearing towards David. I'm just saying if that opportunity came up, why the fuck wouldn't I jump on that? And it'd be a hell of a market, because we've never fought a third time. So –
yes, well, then you should be gearing for that fight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I appreciate that.
Great
but
team.
I want guys like you that I look up to, and I mean this. I want to carry myself with confidence, and I used to be on that. I think some of us all did. I think I'm the next superstar, Conor McGregor shit. I did. I got a big hit. When I was with Kobe, man, I thought I was on my fucking way. I'm just going to be honest. And the reality of it is I really wasn't as good as I thought I was. So what I'm saying, going back to what you're saying, for me to start talking like that, I want to have confidence in my voice. And the only way I know Tony Murphy can do that is have the wins behind it. I don't have those. I do have 3 finishes, but I need to beat some top guys before I'm sitting here saying, now, would I get in the ring with Mike Perry, Dave? I'll get in the ring with any of them. I'll get in the ring with everybody at the same time. I don't give a fuck. But to sit here and say I can compete with these guys and beat them, and you really believe what I'm saying, I want to make sure I have the credentials with that, because I failed at MMA and I failed at football. And people be like, don't say that about yourself. It's the fucking truth. You got to be honest. So when I tell someone I have a podcast with you guys who I respect and look up to, and I look y'all in the face and I say, I want this guy, I want you to know he ain't fucking around. And I need the wins to have that confidence.
So 2 things. Football and MMA are not bare knuckle,
Yeah,
so embrace that.
I appreciate that.
And then the second thing, Dave Mundell trains with a great bare knuckle team led by Jihad Wingfield.
You see, and that's like a second family to me. Didn't mean to cut you off. All them guys, I train over there. I don't train over there fully, but I'm over there sometimes, and they've watched me since I was little. So it's kind of a
Is that
we
team?
would do it, yes, we would do it, but it'd be like a weird thing for me. I don't know about other people. I know they could fight their brother, but I'm weird like that. I don't know.
What team are you with right now? Are you gonna join them, or are you gonna do things on your own? Because
I've just been doing a camp. I train all over and hit every area I can. Right now I'm at Downtown Boxing with Coach Ramon. He's been in Clearwater forever. But, you know, I still could go over there and get work with Shift. Battle Zone Boxing, I know them guys. Coach Bo Hill, Trey Martin Smash Brown. He's got a gym, and he's running a thing now. He just started managing fighters. He's still knocking heads loose. He's getting old, though. That's my boy. He's getting old. But he's still fighting, and he takes me under his wing. So I'm doing like the old school where I don't really have a team. My home gym is Downtown Boxing. Much respect to Coach Ramon. But I don't have a team. I have a camp. We go into camp. I pick where I want to go, and I try to, you know, schedule it around my career in construction, because that's number one. That's paying my bills, and that's giving me a shot at a 401k and everything else. So that's number one, bro. You know what I mean? For me, I don't know about everybody else, but that's my number one. I mean, I'm not fighting just to bullshit, but construction is going to always be there. Fighting is going to come to an end. You know, whether I coach or not, who knows? But I'm going to have to quit fighting one day. So, yeah, my camps, I just put together a camp. I don't really have a team.
Yeah, because like I see from Bare Knuckle, Shift MMA is probably the most successful team right now.
Absolutely.
I feel like the way Bare Knuckle's going, teams might be the way, just like in MMA, because Bare Knuckle's still in its infancy as a true legitimate sport that's becoming more and more commercialized as the days go on. Do you not see yourself potentially joining a team in the future?
I hate to say never on anything. I know I'm such a balanced mind, but that's how my mind works. I'd hate to say never, but I don't know, man. I'm 34 and I'm happy right now. My head's on right. So I'm kind of I like what I got going on. Now, you never know. My life, you never know what's going to happen. I could be on a different team in Alaska tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. But I kind of like this old school boxing way. You don't have a team. I have no commitment anywhere. I'm loyal. People know me, know that. You guys know that. But I kind of like just when it's fight time and we get the contract, okay, let's put together a camp. Also, Storm Athlete Management, who recently signed me, Kevin Smith and them guys over in Hudson. So, you know, I'm in Clearwater now. That's about a 90-minute drive. I have open access to their gym. I can go there. I can go to Shift. I can go to all these. I can go to 4th Street Boxing. I can go to Winkies. You know what I mean? Like, I know all these guys. So, again, Clearwater is my home base. Coach Ramon and them guys, Henry Williams, BKB fighter right now, doing his thing, about to get a title fight. Yeah. But I have open access to like multiple camps that I can get work and views from everybody. In downtown Clearwater, the reason, I mean, they're great guys over there, but that works with, I live over here in downtown Clearwater now. So when you get out of construction, 7, 8 o'clock, you know, that's at least if I can't go anywhere else and it's late, I know I can make that, you know what I mean? And at least get some work. So that works for my life.
How long do you see yourself competing? Because here's the thing. If you look at the bare knuckle champions right now, in bare knuckle boxing, they tend to be older. I feel like, you know, MMA and boxing are a young man's game, but you see a lot of success with the older fighters in bare knuckle, like Andre Arlovsky, like Lorenzo Hunt, you know, like Austin Trout, what's that? The guy who's the guy, Baboon, Luis Palomino. They're a little older, around my age, and you see they've shown a lot of success in the bare knuckle space. How long do you see yourself competing for?
That's another one. I really don't know. I mean, because you know, you can go. Look how long you kept pushing it. People told you need to stop. You need to stop. You wasn't having that shit. So I'm in a good place. And again, I let me say again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I have a great job, and I'm taking this job very serious. I want to be a foreman, a supervisor one day. I know what comes with that, and I know that I can hang. I don't have to worry no more, and I don't got to be running around doing shit I shouldn't be doing. So if I keep winning and if I lost and another fight made sense and I could bounce back, yeah. But if I went out there and got beat 2 or 3 times, I'd probably retire. But I'd be happy, and I'd feel at home in my heart with what I've been able to do. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I wouldn't have any regrets, bro. You know, and I'm being dead shit serious. Now, if we can keep racking up wins and I just wake up one day and I'm the man, hell yeah, who don't want that? But I don't need that anymore. That's what I used to be on. I'm not on that anymore. I'm kind of just fighting for the money. Who don't want money? Yeah, I love money. Fuck, going there for what? I was in there for 4 minutes? You know, I got a good little bag for that. But you know, I'm not really trying to be a celebrity anymore. If that comes with it and it happens, Great. That's going to push you to hire, maybe I can open a gym, I can coach. You can do so many things with that. But that's not really what I'm hunting anymore. I came back because I earned this, man. I couldn't get over it. And then, I had another separation. We've all been through that. I just couldn't get over the fact that, like, I came home in 22, was living in my boy's trap house, St. Pete, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you hit rock bottom and you don't know what you're going to do, had no job, nothing. And, we've all have our stories. I'm not trying to get sympathy here, but the point being, I went to the Trouts in Jacksonville and fucking earned my way in. I go 2-0 with 2 knockouts. Fuck who it was against or whatever. I did it. And then sat for 3 years. I just couldn't get over that. And so this fight was about that. And now after the win, why wouldn't you keep going?
Absolutely. I'm going to jump in for a second, Mo, and then I'll give it back to you. So the fact that you kind of you don't have a clear vision on how long or a goal, it's not necessarily bad. It kind of sounds like you're doing a great job of living in the present. And there's something to be said about that. There truly is. And I think that's awesome. But in the same breath, I would hate for you to sell yourself short because, like you said, you're a great athlete. And you shouldn't talk about, and as you said, people shouldn't say it. I don't think that you should talk about any of that being a failure because you gained so much experience from both those avenues that led you to where you are now that's going to lead you to succeed as you're doing right now. So I think that you have a very bright future in exactly what you're doing. And I think that you should allow yourself to think that you're going to reach the top level, but stay grounded. Like you said, like that's how I see it. Go ahead, Mo. That's all I wanted to add.
I say this real quick, Mo, though. That means the world to me because I know you don't give compliments easy. And that's a positive comment I'm making. Like you got to earn it with you. I know that about you. So that means the world to me to say that. And I guess I'm just trying to be honest that I know me. I do have a tendency to get a big fucking head. So it's like this has kept me. I wouldn't, I'm humble, but it's not like I'm trying to be the nice guy. I'm just trying to be realistic with myself because I have a tendency when things are going my way, and this has happened all routes I've taken. It's always happened in Vegas when I was with y'all, football. I tend to get a big head. Now all of a sudden I start changing, not into a dick, but into somebody who thinks you can't touch me. And then what happens is I don't go where I was headed. It's almost like I go backwards. So, I mean, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear. Go ahead, Mo.
All right. 2 questions. What exercises do you do to preserve your hands? Or do you have a protocol for hand recovery?
Yeah, so my bad. Go ahead, Coach.
2, the second question. Name me 3 of your top bare knuckle matchups right now, and they could be from 2 people from different organizations facing off.
All right. So as far as the hand conditioning, we do a lot of bag work, especially on the teardrop, because it gives you more of a bounce off. You don't really hit hard impact harder, right? So you get that nice impression. It doesn't put too much strain on the wrist. We do a lot of bag work on the teardrop, like with no gloves, as well as you don't slug it. You're not trying to like go through it, but you might get a stack of 2x4s. I've seen a lot of guys that hitting steel and stuff like that. You can do anything hard. It don't, the steel and all that. I think that's more just like, mainstream people are like, wow, he's hitting steel. But if it's hard, conditions the bone, right? If we go bone on bone, conditions. So anything hard, hell, I go get against this wall and just, lightly just hit some combos and get comfortable. And I can tell that the callus have grown because my knuckles have doubled in size since when I was younger. I used to always think I had big hands. I was like, man, I got some little ass fucking knuckles, but them bitches are getting up there now. As far as the 3 matchups, I can't wait to see the heavyweight showdown with Pitbull and this what Cuban guy that's coming up. He's smashing everybody. That's fixing to go
Perdomo.
Right. And then I would also like to see Dave Mundell, Mike Perry, and this is because. I know Dave just lost to Lorenzo, but first of all, Lorenzo's on a hot fucking streak right now. He's on a hot hand, and that's a big toolbox to deal with.
And Dave took the fight short notice.
Dave took it short notice, okay, and Lorenzo's a killer, and so is Dave. Don't get me wrong, but they're 2 different sizes for one, and we all know we fight. People who are mainstream, you hear them at the bars, they're like, "Oh, size don't matter." I'm like, bro, you have no idea what you're talking about. The size you see him at, that's not what he's walking at. And he doesn't lose power. You lose weight, but you're still hitting like a 300-pound man. You know what I mean? So I would love to see that. The Mike Perry and Dave fight. And the reason being is we all came up in the same amateur region together. we're all WSFL guys, main eventers. You know what I mean? We had a little, we used to have a little thing going with us three. Never really me and Mike so much, but me and Dave had the rivalry going that took the WCFL to the next level. This is when amateur MMA is just starting in Florida, right? And you got to get your 5 fights because you guys, you kind of got shit on. You had to go pro right away, correct? You didn't really.
Well, more or less, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so the Mike and Dave fight, for the reason that we all came up in the same region, and I was close to that rivalry, and I know the history between them two. I mean, the first time they fought, Dave knocks Mike on his ass, and Mike gets up, ends up knocking Dave out. The second time, Dave went for a leg lock, and Mike's hovering over. We all know Mike hits hard, so he got the knockout there. But you got to want to see that one. I don't know why. And then the third one, I can't wait to see me fight again. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, I know who the main guys are. Ryan Reber, I like to watch fight. My boy Jafar Knox, if you've ever seen Jafar Fort, he's a monster. I know he's coming off that loss against Gogo Savowski or whatever, the Russian dude. But Jafar is a mean dude. That was my first partner over there at SPMF, and he was a man-child. We both came out of high school. We played football against each other at our rival schools. He was at Dixie. I was at P Park. And, I mean, I was big, but I didn't have facial hair, still had the baby face. Knox was a grown-ass man, bald head, full beard. I'm talking David behind chest. Damon, you know what I mean? Like, that was my first partner at SPMF. And I'm going to be honest, I was never scared of anyone on the street. I was scared shitless of him. I never let him know it. He laughs to this day, but I used to be so scared of that motherfucker. I want to see Jafar back in the ring. So if you're watching or you hear this, because we talk, but, we all got lives, Knox, you need to get your ass in there.
Nice. All right. So you're doing construction now too, you said. Tell us a little bit about that company you're doing it for, whatever. Give them a plug.
It's a Pinellas Park-based company. The Rollins brothers started right here. They're contracted through the cities and the counties. So what we do is anything from sewers installation, installing the manholes and running the pipe, gravity sewer lines. So you got to have your inches offset and have that slope going. As well as we've been doing a lot more doing like mainline repairs. Like we're in Pasco right now running a whole main line, like for miles. I mean, so this is just job security. Don't get me wrong, work has its days. I think anything you do in life, you kind of, it's natural instinct for a human being to get tired of the same routine. But I gotta say, like, I love my job. I mean, you have days where you're like, fuck, but for the most part, I go to work and I'm so locked into what's going on, coach. Like, I've never been somewhere you could work 12 hard hours and it feel like 4. To me, that means everything because I lose my mind if I'm in fucking one setting or anything. I'm clock hunting all day. I go crazy. I can't do it, or I'll fucking end up wanting to go out that night. I'm just like that. This job keeps me so grounded, keeps me focused. You're always learning new things, and it's a skill that it's a trade and a skill that not a lot of people are wanting to do anymore. You know what I mean? Not knocking anyone for it. I'm just saying it's back in the day, there was people lining up, so now to know this trade, it's worth a lot of bread if you can climb up, and so I love my job.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So I don't have anything else. Mo, you got anything?
Nah, I just know that it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, man. It's so good to see you.
Stories real quick. One, and after these things air, I'm gonna post the video. I still have the video. Remember when you told me I couldn't run and jump right there where the cage is? You know how they got that I couldn't touch it, and I smashed it like Michael Jordan. And then, quick story for everybody for Coach Quinn. This is one of the fucking best moments ever that might have connected us, and we didn't even know it. So, Peter Young comes in to train for, I think he was the champ at the time. And so he just gets to American Top Team. Now, credit, he's a lot smaller than me. Pound for pound, I can't touch him. He's a monster. But, dude, I'm 200 fucking pounds. I don't care. And I didn't even do anything to him. So I pay bills there. So he gets there with his camp. So I'm in the locker room, I think, after practice, and I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone, whatever, waiting for the next session. He comes in, he's got his Russian boys behind me and shit. So he's trying to show out. I know what you're doing, bro. So he comes up to me, never spoken to this dude ever. He goes, locker room for get dressed and get out, not play on phone. And they all started chuckling. I stood up. I said, locker. I said, boy, I pay the bills here. I keep the lights on in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? I said, I don't care. UFC belt or not, I'll throw your little ass out of here. So a scuffle breaks out. They separate us. This is where you come in. How about fate was on my side? So, like, the next day or a couple days go by. Well, this motherfucker walks on the mat with his shoes. You don't play that shit. I remember you get on amateurs about that. It's a respect thing. It's a cleanliness thing. Like, dude, don't come in here and walk on the fucking mat with your shoes. So he walks across the mat in his shoes, and you jumped his ass. You got on him. Told him, hey, look, bro, don't, no shoes on the mat. So he skips off the mat or whatever. I walked right up to him. I said, or no, because in the locker room, I'm sorry, I told him, I said, this is my house. And he said, this is my home too, while I was leaving the locker room. So back to when you got on his ass, I walk up to him. I said, if this is your fucking house, keep them fucking shoes off the mat. And it was just like, it couldn't have been any better. When you got on him, I was like, oh, yeah, this is my time right here. I'm going to get in that ass. So anyway, I just had to tell them stories.
That's great. That's great. I don't remember that, so I'm happy you brought that up.
My memory is sharp. Now, I remember so much, and I remember you get this look in your eye. Like, it's funny because you're so smart and you look so friendly on film, but I'm like, look, he's a real ass dude and he's cool, but don't piss him off in the gym because Coach Quinn will get this look. King Mo, I know you've seen it, and he ain't fucking around.
Actually, I remember one time we were at amateur fights and it was at that nightclub, and I remember this one kid was up like with the locker room, but there was and a kid lights up a cigarette while I was warming up the fighters, and I just like. And I remember I would sit, and you knew, and I remember hearing you go, "Oh shit!" Like you were thinking, I was like, "Get out of here with that." I was.
Coach Quinn has a very unique look in his eyes when he's just, that's it. You're fixing to get either reamed out or thrown the fuck out. Whichever comes first is happening right here.
Well, like, I'm working on that.
But you'll go up to anyone and be like, look, bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know what I mean? I love that.
Well, Tony, we love you, man. We're so proud of you. Keep it up. And when you get your next fight, we want you on again before and after you win. And then when football season starts, we'll have you on too.
Get that speed up, man, because I watched Lamar Brown dust you in that race. You don't want to claim it.
Wait, you lost to Lamar Brown?
Yeah, bad.
And we're lining up. All of us are lining up. This is going on the show. We're lining up soon. I promise you.
You got to beat Lamar first. Lamar beat you by a good team.
Lamar, Keith's the one that beat me. Lamar did not beat me.
I watched both of them beat you. I watched both of them.
Lamar never beat me. I promise.
It's bad.
No.
Hey, was he running backwards too? It was like,
no, come on now.
You turn around, backpedaling at the end, start pointing at him.
I'm the fastest 190-pounder you've ever met in your life. I promise you that. I promise you.
In the 3-mile run, yes, I agree.
3 mile now, anybody will beat me. I ain't gonna lie now. I'm not a long distance guy. I'll tell you that right now. I'll be the first to admit. I was the kid in PE. I'd fucking walk them laps. I was not happy.
But he had 3-mile pace for your 100-meter dash.
Sir?
What are you talking about? He had a 3-mile pace for your 100-meter dash.
No, I just like running them sprints. That's all. You know how it is growing up, man. Everybody we line up and fucking throw $1 on the ground. All right, who's got it? You know what I mean? But it was only 50, 100-yard dashes. No one was trying to run a marathon. So, but I'll let y'all get out of here. Thank y'all so much for having me. Real good.
Later. Enjoy your Sunday.
All right, brother.
Peace. All right. Oh man, what a good dude. I love that dude. And like he's a good example of how like BKB is like, you know, we have people there, you know, and how it's taken off.
Yeah, BKFC.
BKFC, yeah, sorry. So all right, I don't want to get into the whole review of the UFC last night. Aljo won, but and like also when I watch the UFC and like especially during baseball and college football season, like I'll have any fights on Saturday night, really. I put it on mute, I put it on the laptop over here, and then baseball or football is on the big TV. So that's and like there's fights that I'm invested in. There wasn't a whole lot of fights I was truly invested in last night. Although Montague won. What's her name from American Top?
Yeah, Montague.
Montague. Yeah. She that was a pretty solid win.
Yeah.
What's her name? What was the opponent?
Myra.
Yeah, is she still on American Top Team or no? No. Okay. Big win. Big win.
We had a few. Cody Durden, Francis Marshall won. So I think we had 3 wins last night.
Cody won 2. That's right. Yep.
Asia Cortez won in XFC.
Good weekend for the team.
Kyvan Gatson won with a 10-second knockout. Kyvan Gatson from Iowa State. He got in MMA kind of late, but he's a hell of a competitor as well. He beat Kyle Snyder years ago in the finals of the AAA's. Drop through him, step around throw.
Yep. Awesome.
So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have to get more on the territory, the developmental shows again, regional shows. But anyway, in the co-main event, Norma Dumont lost a controversial decision to Jocelyn Edwards. Now, like I said, like I was watching on mute on my laptop. I got the game on. From what I was watching, I thought Norma won. And I'm pretty good with deciphering what damage duration and what the other one is. The third D. Well,
damage duration, dominance.
Dominance. Yeah, I'm pretty good at this.
See, that's only for 10-8 rounds. Because I watched that fight, and I've worked with. I know Jocelyn's coach.
Okay.
So I thought Jocelyn won the second and third. I thought she lost the first, but I thought she outworked her in the second, and then I think she outworked her in the third. Norma Dumont kind of got lackadaisical and she landed a few good shots, but they're far and few in between. Where Jocelyn Edwards scored more points.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you have to go off damage, but the damage was really not significant. So you have to go off the second tier, which would be points in a sense.
Well, to your point, and I hate going by the docu-strike or CompuStrike or whatever, but it plays a story and stuff like this. Like if you look, Jocelyn, she outstruck her both significantly and point total. She outstruck her. But regardless, I'll take your word for it. Like I said, I wasn't completely invested in the fight. Just from what I watched, it looked like the dance was going in Norma's favor. But now I think overall that controversial scoring has gotten better in MMA. It's not great. It's gotten better in the last 3 years or so. Still a lot of room for improvement. But overall, what do you think could be done? Like we have open scoring is always a constant topic of discussion, which I'm actually surprised that discussion has kind of died down lately. Maybe that's something that we could pick up over here. Maybe it's something we should pick up. We could talk about that some other time. But other than that, like, what do you think we could do to get through this disconnect between the judges and the teams and the fighters?
Open scoring for one, and I think that with the scoring, if say me and you are judging a fight, every round we should put our score and then the reason why, the criteria.
Yeah.
And because that just makes sense. Because when it's all said and done, if there is a question, they can pull up the cards and see why we scored the rounds for who, and and what's the reason behind the score. Open scoring would help that too as well, because then people would have something in their mind showing, okay, yeah, I can see how that person won that round because the takedown and the damage. But then if you don't have open scoring, then there's a lot of speculation and people will forget the first 2 rounds.
Yep.
Or the first 4 rounds or the first 3 rounds, depending on how many rounds there are in the fight. So I feel like, open scoring for one would definitely help. And I think that after judges turn in the scorecards for that round, they should actually put the criteria along with the score.
So I like that idea about the criteria, and already I'm thinking about what their argument's going to be, and I don't think it's valid. They're going to say that not enough time goes in between the rounds, but these days with technology, you just talk the dictation into whatever your notes are into the, and then there it is. Then you submit that. Like they can come up with something like that, some kind of app to do that. So I like that because it creates, it has meaning to it. I like that idea a lot. I think open scoring is still the way to go. And I was someone who originally was not for open scoring. I don't even remember why. I just know I didn't like it. But now it's like, honestly, at the end of the day, you keep the fifth or the third or fifth round disclosed anyway until you say the decision, even with open scoring. So what does it matter? Like there's still that. Like I remember when I had Andy Foster on my other channel, he's like, oh, I would hate to take away that element of surprise, but that's still there because the final round is still not given until the end. So like that's a non-argument. I don't know. Like I said, I feel we're doing a lot better. There's still some ways to go.
I think there should be more transparency, even with the open scoring.
Yeah.
They should be like, hey, 10-9, fighter A, volume or accuracy or aggression.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Duration, takedowns. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The reason why.
Yep. 10-9 Lawal wins significant strikes landed, wins takedown control. Like that's all it is. Three, four words. Other than that, I don't really have anything. It was a slower week. I'm happy that BKFC, we got BKB next. We got Game Bread next week. Are you going down to that?
I might stop by. Yeah, I might.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna be away next week, so I'm not gonna be able to go down to that. But other than that, I guess that's it, guys. Mo and I are talking about some really cool shit coming up on this channel. We're really pumped about it. So just stick along for the ride. Definitely like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. And we'll see you soon.